How's it going, guys? So today is Friday, July the 25th. We have some heifers we need to move around. My dad's gonna be here soon to start doing that. Wanted to check on our one silo. Camera's kind of dirty, I guess. But we're getting close to the bottom of our first triticale silo that we filled this year. We had put spring forage in 2 silos. This middle one is full. And that one we want to open up soon. The one on the end there, we filled about a quarter full in May. We've been feeding that out for a couple months. And now we're down below this line, down to the last 4 feet. Trying to time it. The issue is I'm going to be going away a little bit next week, Thursday through Sunday, so that's 6 days from now. I'm going to be leaving. Trying to figure out if we need to open up that next silo before that trip or if it can wait till the week after. Guess I'll just let it run this weekend, see where we're at by Monday, and make a decision at that point. Ideally, we could just keep using this silo because starting the new one, don't know if we have an issue and have to end up climbing up there. And my dad can climb silos, but it's supposed to be my job. Really happy with this feed. Stuff, it's really stable. It's plenty dry, but it smells great. We had actually done a little bit of rye that we put in first. Did some rye and some triticale. The ring is there. We're about 9 inches below that. And it's a 4-foot ring. Just clean this camera off. Gonna clean the trailer out for little calves. We're gonna sort 9 or 10 out of our oldest pen in the heifer barn. Got a bunch of pregnant heifers we'll mix in with the dry cows. We breed them in this pen and then preg test them. Once we know they're pregnant, we're able to move them out. So we got 10 out of the big group. Now we're gonna move everybody down a pen. Gonna throw some bedding in these first 3 pens and then we'll go get a new group of calves. It's amazing how easy this job is compared to what it was a few years ago. Simply chase the oldest ones out the end into the dry cow group. Move everybody down and we're good to go. The first video I posted on this channel was a day in the life. And we were moving out heifers from our old heifer barn, which was right here, where this weed pile is right now. Gotta get this moved. We were taking heifers out of here at about 10 months, hauling them to the neighbors where we had a couple groups, and we were feeding them down there, breeding them, bringing them back here, putting them in the dry cow barn. Trailer some down there, sort them around, trailer some back here, just to make room for the new calves. We're definitely more efficient with labor, and I think it's easier on the animals. This barn's a lot more comfortable, cleaner. We're keeping a few more in the dry cow barn now. This barn's getting fairly full. We moved 10 out here. We average about 6 to 8 heifer calves a month born. And then we like to move 9 in here at a time. So the issue with that is we end up with about a 6-week difference between the oldest and the youngest calves in this group coming out of the calf barn. Since we're a little pressed for space in the heifer and dry cow barns, they end up staying in the calf barn for quite a while, until the youngest ones are old enough to move out. The biggest ones are plenty big, if not a little too big for that calf barn. It'd be kind of nice to do something with them in between the calf barn and this pen. I've seen people use a super hutch, put 3 calves together in a pen, kind of transition from calf pens into the bigger groups. Thought about trying one of those sometime, see if we can try to move these out of the calf barn a little bit younger, and it would alleviate some pressure in this building. Always like to make sure they're willing to step over the curb up to the feed alley. Can be a little scary for some reason. Hey girls, let's go. So this is one of the youngest ones. She's actually the right age to move out of the calf barn, but she's just a lot younger than some of those oldest ones. She looks like she's half the size almost. They're not really pressed for space in here, so they seem to do fine. Right now we have a lot of dry cows to start with. We just added 10 more heifers to this group, so that barn is full. I really don't want to run any more animals in there. I was thinking we get this dirt pile moved, we have some space there for some super hutches if we wanted to have a few of those to house some young heifers. I'd be interested if any of you have experience with those, if they're a pain or calves do well in them. I'm assuming if it's not handy to bed them and take care of them, then it could really be a pain. But I'm just gonna collect a few square bales we had made this week. We have 2 waterways that we used to cut with our hay throughout the summer when we made our alfalfa hay. Since we don't have that anymore, we have to do something with this grass. There's 4 or 5 bales here, and then the farm across the road, there's another 4 or 5 bales. How's it going, guys? So today's not Monday. It's been 3 days since I checked this silo. The feed level is right about 10 inches lower than it was Friday. So if I work that out, we don't have enough here to last another week. It's very close, but too close to let go. We're gonna go ahead and open up the next silo and get it cleaned out, get feed started coming. We're gonna have to feed this one for a bit yet, so we can't just switch over, but maybe we'll feed the heifers and we'll see whoever else out of the new silo for a few days. It's not gonna be full, probably settle down to about 3/4 full. We're gonna get the blower hooked up so we have fresh air. I'm gonna go up there with a pitchfork then. I believe my dad and Caleb, are one employee, is going to be helping clean up in the feed room. And my dad's filling the hay box right now. Once he's done with that, we can get the blower hooked up. All right, we got air going. I'm going to head up now, get started. When we had this leveled off a couple months ago, feed was right underneath that unloader, so it settled about 4 rings, quite a bit. We got a plastic cover on here, put a little bit of feed on top to hold it down, which this is all going to be thrown away, and there's going to be some spoilage underneath. It's the downside with these upright silos. When you go to cover them, you can't really seal it up amazing at the top. You get a little bit of waste, but once you get below that, then it's good feed the whole way down. it down now. Yeah, we gotta get the gooseneck set up, and then I forgot I need a 9/16. I thought the gooseneck was already on, but it's not, so we're gonna need the 9/16 to tighten those bolts. We'll get it set up and start running feed out pretty soon here. So a lot of this feed is pretty good. I would at least feed this to heifers. It's really not bad feed. Except the stuff at the edges. So I'm gonna have to fork that up and let the unloader take it out. We ran it around 4 or 5 times. I'd say the middle is good. Still need to dig a little bit up at the edges. Yeah, it's really not bad. I'm gonna fork straight out the door, everything around here. Because of the door down below, there's a little bit of air getting in the doors that are not packed real tight. The feed spoils a little bit more around the door area. Down where the feed pushes against the doors real hard, then they seal up better. So you don't have that spoilage the whole way down the silo. Nice thing is at least it's right at the door. I can just fork it straight out. Trying not to work too hard. Supposed to get in the 90s today with high humidity. Not a great day to be in the silo. It doesn't feel too bad. Got that all dug out down to clean looking stuff. We're gonna go around one more time and just let it clean a layer off. But it's looking good. I'd parked the mixing feeding robots outside. out of the way so my dad could get in with the skid loader to catch all the junk feed. Turned it on, so now it should switch into the other position. Then we have another unit outside waiting. So that took us about 2 hours. It's really not that bad of a job. I let the unloader throw most of the feed out. It's nice to have two guys down here, to one to run skid loader, the other one to turn the unloader off if they need to, or shovel some and stuff. I'd like to figure out how we can seal those silos up a little bit better. That way we have a little less waste. But yeah, it was covered for 3 months over the summer. A lot of hot weather, and it still didn't spoil too bad. So I think we're doing okay. Hey guys, so it's the next day. I have the cattle trailer right here. Just gonna take 2 Angus calves to the sale. Well, we don't take them to auction, we take them directly to market. We've been keeping some nice Angus bulls for the neighbor. It's been about 39 of them in the last year or two. That'll be the 40th, so they have enough for now. Yeah, these Angus cross calves, they are very valuable right now. Every calf is valuable. Even the Holstein bulls are bringing way more than they used to, but these Angus are awesome price-wise. But the 2 I want to take are back there. So we had a cow push a calf out, so we got to take care of that as well. I guess I'll get these Angus out first. Okay, let's see about this calf. The way it works out with our farm, we have about 20 cows calve every month. We're shooting for right around 7 heifer calves a month to maintain our herd, and that's plenty until we raise them up and breed them back. There's a percentage of them that don't actually make it into the herd, so we want to make sure we have enough calves. And then the rest of our calves are Angus, approximately 12 to 14 Angus a month and 6 to 8 Holstein heifer calves. It's kind of the ideal average. We're trying to get that as consistent as possible. We tend to have more fresh cows in the fall, so it's kind of hard to keep the barn full all summer long because we have so many dry cows right now. But there's a lot of calves on the way soon. We had 2 nice Holstein heifers born within the last day. One yesterday, or both of these were yesterday, I guess. And then it looks like another Holstein over there. Should be a heifer calf. So this cow is actually going into her 3rd lactation now. Just had a Holstein heifer calf. So most of our heifer calves are coming out of our first calf heifers. Those would be the youngest animals with the best genetics. We still breed 1 or 2 mature cows every week with the sorted heifer semen, so we get some heifer calves out of our best cows. So this is a nice cow here, this 986. Get a nice heifer out of her. She was due 4 days ago. Generally when they're a little later, they tend to have bull calves. So I was concerned it was going to be a bull, but it's a heifer calf. It's a good sized heifer calf, which I like to see calves with some meat on their bones. That's good. So I'm going to put a red band on that cow, and we'll put her over in the special needs to milk her this afternoon. We always put a band of duct tape on the back legs for cows that we're going to keep their milk out of the tank. And when we have a fresh cow, we'll just put one leg on, so that's easy to recognize which cow. Now Megan is milking this afternoon. She really doesn't miss things, so I could have just put her in that pen without the tape, but might as well. Definitely if it's an evening milking where someone else is milking, I'll put a band on, that way no one misses it. I don't even really trust myself to not miss one, so I'll usually put a band on even if I'm milking next. That fresh cow just went right up front there. She's eating feed. That's what we want to see. It's a pretty stressful week. Mid-90s and humid again today. Fresh cows right now we have to pay close attention to make sure they're getting off to a good start, because when they're already stressed and then they're having a calf, that's quite a bit of work for a cow. A couple days have passed since we got the new silo started up. There's a batch of heifer feed mixing right now. We took a forage sample and sent it to a lab, just got those results back. And our nutritionist just sent me the new rations for the milking cows. We haven't been putting the new tray cow in the milking ration yet until we got those results. Sounds like the protein levels and the digestibility are down just a little bit from the earlier stuff that we harvested. It's not really surprising. We let it mature a little bit more and it got rained on, so at least it yielded really well. First ingredient is the dry hay. There's a good amount of that going in the heifer ration right now. And then it'll kick on the tray cow, which is out of that conveyor number 2 there. There's always a little bit of feed left in the conveyor. Now the unloader's running. It's going to start running out soon. The feed is smelling good coming out. It's gonna get better as we feed. It's pretty dry. Yeah, I like the smell. I think it smells good. I would say it doesn't feel quite as soft. The more digestible feed is, the kind of softer it is when you squeeze it. Yeah, we lost a little bit of digestibility. It's really simple to switch to a different silo on the Lely Vector. You just got to go in the computer, and we have them labeled silo 1, 2, and 3, and then I'll change whatever feed type is in. This silo here had corn silage in last fall. This is the first time feeding tray cow out of it. Unloader's throwing it out into the chute there. Just gets funneled into the conveyor at the bottom. A little bit of heifer mineral, and we have some corn going in. Because we were trying to reduce our corn silage use, we needed a little bit more starch. Normally don't have to add any corn to this ration. I think this mixer's getting a little bit too full. Now with the tray cow being drier, there's a little bit more volume going in here. You set it for a max pounds for a mix. That's it now, that's the last ingredient, unless it adds a little bit of water yet, I forget. But I would say it's a little fuller than I'd like to see it, just to make sure it mixes properly. So that's for the 13 through 17 month old heifer group, breeding age and post breeding. I gotta adjust the rations on the computer now for the milking cows since I have that information. The feeder just ran that feed out to these older heifers. Heading back now. They seem to like it pretty good. I'm kind of excited about the robot feeding, even for the heifers, just being fed more consistently throughout the day to see if we see better performance out of these animals as they come into the milking barn. You can definitely tell there's less competition to eat. Right now there's fresh feed that just ran out, so a lot of them are eating, but they're not all fighting for feed. There's some in the back that know there's going to be feed available whenever they want it, pretty much. We do let them eat it down pretty good. They clean it up before it gets fed again with the heifer groups.